Hey YouTubers, just woke up about 30 minutes ago. Boo! I'm having my breakfast of wheat that I cooked in my thermal cooker. That's this thing right here. You basically bring the wheat to a boil and then throw it in this insulated outer container and it cooks all night. And the result is about an 11-cent breakfast. Now, even though I make good money, I'm a fairly frugal kind of guy. Some people would call me cheap, but that's their choice. I'm just not a standard American. Recently, about probably a year ago, I went to the doctor and I had borderline high blood pressure, and I was kind of concerned because if I get a high blood pressure and I go on medication, I would then have to take the DOT physical once a year instead of every other year in order to keep my commercial driver's license, and that would be a downer. And the doctor just couldn't wait to prescribe me blood pressure medication. That guy was just dying to prescribe that medication. And I took the numbers with me when I left because he was ready to do it. And then I Googled it up and I found that that blood pressure wasn't high. It was just like close. It was like real close to being high, but darn it, it was not high. But instead it kind of gave me a wake-up call, so I started doing things like backing off on how much meat I eat, which I never really ate a huge amount, but I stopped going to Burger King. Well, didn't really stop, but really slowed down on it. And peeled off 10 pounds. And about 2 days ago I went to the doctor and it was right in the middle of normal. So being frugal kind of paid off. You know, I saved money on fast food, eat a little bit more sensibly, and lost 10 pounds. I'm now down to like 229, and so basically, yeah, I'm pretty happy. So basically, if you're a frugal kind of guy like me, if you eat more sensibly and you live a little bit low stress like I do, the prepper lifestyle is a low stress, easy, frugal, wealthy way to live. The good things in life, basically, they come in, and the trick is, it's like permaculture. You do what you can to make the money stay in your life. It's kind of like organic matter on the land. For example, if you are doing permaculture, like urban permaculture or suburban, whatever. Organic matter is another form of wealth, right? And it's just like money in a way, because you basically, the money comes in, and it's like water on the land as well. You bring the water in, the water comes in, the organic matter comes in, and you do what you can to keep it on the land as long as possible before it gets washed away or evaporates or whatever. So basically, it's just a better, more sensible way to live. Now, check out my forehead. You know, I'm getting kind of old. The hair is going away, but there's no lines hardly on this forehead. And that is partly because of the prepper lifestyle. But back on the organic matter thing. Composting. See it? Dun, dun, dun. Compost. This is full, so I'm going to go ahead and dump it. I have a temporary composting system out on the deck, and it's like really, really simple. The only thing it does is it mixes the high nitrogen types of compost with the high carbon compost. For example, I used my bag on my mower to shred up all these leaves, and these will basically, when you layer the high nitrogen compost and the high carbon compost together, they basically lock together into a type of compost which will be available to your plants in the future. But if you like have all kinds of carbon together, that'll break down. But if you have nitrogen compost, like this thing here, like this was before I dumped it in there, you basically have a situation where you have a real bad smell, and that's an indication that you are losing nitrogen to the atmosphere. Here's a bag of leaves, or a box of leaves. So what you do is you just throw the high nitrogen in and then layer it with high carbon, and then as it breaks down, it will basically lock into a stable compost. The carbon will absorb the nitrogen, and then you'll have useful compost that will be available to your plants when the spring rolls around. Now, I have a place that I do the composting out there. It's sort of a temporary measure, but I plan to improve the system a good deal in the near future. Now that the condo, notice the condo is finally done. Whoop! Now all I need to do is get that puppy rented out. But anyway, now I'm given the opportunity to have a little more time to do some things here at the house that I've really been needing to do. One of those things is I have this desire to have those compost bins directly outside this window. Then when I have a big tub of compost, I can just open the window and put it right in the tub, grab some leaves, throw it over the top, and then boom, you have got compost. And then I'll have a second place to put it once the tub or the trash can fills up. Then I will throw it in maybe one of those black plastic compost barrel tumbler things, or I might do it more traditionally, like with little bins on the ground where you turn the compost and all that. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it. I might just get a tumbler, and then basically I would have and then also I want to have it set up next to the deck if I do, and then I'd basically be able to throw the compost in the top from the deck, and then come around when it's time to collect the compost, and I'll be able to have room underneath the thing for a wheelbarrow. Then I'll open the door up and drop the compost into the wheelbarrow, go off to my garden beds, and do the and then top it off. So that's the plan. So this was sort of a unfocused video, but basically it's just living the frugal prepper lifestyle is just the way to go, I think. If you have, especially if you can add like permaculture into preparedness, you've got a real winning combination. In the past, the people into permaculture have been sort of left-leaning flower children, and they they have communes and stuff. And then you have the preppers who were like these. In the past, they were like these gun people running around in the woods with MREs up to the ceiling, and but I'm thinking that those two communities, they're starting to merge, because I am seeing people who have been long-time permaculture people who are talking about the shit hitting the fan. If the shit hits the fan, da-da-da-da-da. And you have a lot of preparedness people who are incorporating permaculture into their preps, and I think that's like a match made in heaven. So there you are. Well, this is just basically a channel update, letting you guys know what I'm doing, and I gotta say I am one happy guy. I love this house. I had no idea how confined I was in that condo until until I finally got out. Okay, well, I'll see ya.